Hey everyone, welcome to the weekly wrap only on KENS 5 Plus. I'm your host Audrey Gasolano. Let's get you to the biggest stories of the week so you can stay in the know. At number 5 in our countdown, it's a big week for families hoping to use a new voucher program to send their children to private school. Parents can start applying for the new Texas Education Freedom accounts. If accepted, each student will get up to $10,000 a year for tuition and expenses, while students with disabilities can receive up to $30,000. More than 1,500 private schools have enrolled so far. At number 4 in our countdown, outrage among local leaders on conditions within the ICE facility in Dilley. On Monday, we learned 2 confirmed cases of measles were inside that facility. Congressman Joaquin Castro says the detention center should be shut down immediately. Measles is a very contagious disease, and Representative Castro wants everyone who is not diagnosed be moved for their safety and allow Texas medical officials to oversee care, not ICE. State Representative Josie Garcia also in support of shutting down this facility, saying the people inside the Dilley facility deserve better, especially when they did not break the law. At number 3 in our countdown, all federal agents working for the Department of Homeland Security in Minneapolis will now be wearing body cameras. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem made the announcement in a social media post Monday. She says the move is effective immediately. It comes after 2 deadly shootings by immigration agents in the city. Noem says the body camera program will be expanded nationwide as funding becomes available. In health news, weight loss drugs like Wegovy and Ozempic, they're all the rage right now. But with many GLP-1s having positive side effects that were previously unknown. As KENS 5's Jeremy Baker reports in today's Healthy Essay, a new study shows certain injectables may also lower your risk of certain cancers.
If you are taking weight loss injectables, it may be to control your diabetes or to lose weight. But a new study found you may be getting an added benefit of a lower risk of colon cancer, as obesity increases your risk of that type of the disease.
The thought is that if we reduce obesity in patients, we could potentially lower their risk of getting colorectal cancer.
Dr. Colton Jones with UT Health San Antonio's Mays Cancer Center was the lead author on the global study.
I realized my family had a strong genetic predisposition to colorectal cancer and diabetes, and a lot of my family members were taking these GLP-1 agents.
Researchers analyzed health records for 281,000 people drawn from a commercial healthcare database. Half took a GLP-1 and the other half took aspirin. Results showed a 36% lower risk of colon cancer in the group taking the GLP-1.
Those who had high-risk comorbidities such as Crohn's and ulcerative colitis, that risk reduction was even greater, 42% risk reduction, which is impressive, mind-blowing actually.
About 150,000 Americans were diagnosed with colon cancer in 2025. Researchers say with 6% of Americans now taking GLP-1 medications, as many as 20 million people could be benefiting from a lower colon cancer risk and a lower risk of death. But getting screened for the disease is still the best way to keep it at bay.
Anybody at average risk of colorectal cancer, the United States Preventative Task Force now recommends screening at age 45.
For more information about GLP-1s and colorectal cancer screening, head to the story on KENS5.com. In the studio, Jeremy Baker, KENS 5.
Interesting stuff. The weekly wrap is back after this.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
A broken vehicle fixed after 5 months of no help.
KENS 5 made it 100% better.
A busted windshield fixed after getting the runaround from a contractor.
And you guys did it. Y'all were amazing.
A much-needed tax refund this man couldn't access. Yep, fixed.
KENS 5 actually helped me out quite a lot, actually.
Have a consumer problem you can't solve? Call KENS. Weekdays at 6 on KENS 5.
Got a problem, call KENS. They will solve the problem.
My name is Sue Kalberg, and I am a journalist for KENS 5 for 22 years. I think it's been an awesome privilege to be able to work in the town that I grew up in. My uncle, Rex Stanley, was the very first guy hired at KENS 5. From the beginning, I said, you can get paid for that? Let me in. It fills my heart to be a part of the KENS family, because the KENS family is the San Antonio family. I am San Antonio's own Sue Kalberg.
We want to get you breaking news right now.
Here, let me show you the police activity. New insight into a deadly police shooting.
We just got an update from fire officials. We'll continue to keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage, live or on demand, right here on KENS 5+.
Welcome back to the Weekly Wrap. At number 2 in our countdown, investigators say they're using every tool to find Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. The FBI is now analyzing an apparent ransom note. The note contained details about what the 84-year-old was wearing the night she went missing, but would not confirm its authenticity. It was initially sent to a news station who forwarded it to authorities and agreed not to report on it. Police also said a small amount of blood was found inside the home. Investigators believe Nancy was kidnapped from her home late Saturday night. The FBI is now offering a $50,000 reward. A local woman still can't believe she got a letter from the government saying not only was her husband dead, but her family's benefits were going to be affected. As it turns out, that letter was inaccurate. And now that KENS 5's Andrew Moore got involved, the VA is fixing the issue.
It was super freaky. It was upsetting.
It came on a Friday afternoon on a government letter with a faded logo. The letter said Dana's husband, David, who had served in the Navy 23 years, was now dead.
And it was horrifying.
She couldn't believe it.
This has to be a scam.
And David couldn't believe he was dead either.
What was that like when you found out about it?
Like my wife, I shared her suspicion based on the crappiness of the letter.
But it was not a hoax. The VA really had killed David on paper, and now the family was missing benefit payments because of the mistake. They tried to call the VA to fix it.
Find out what I can do to fix this as fast as possible.
You look really good for a dead guy.
But even after the family proved David was still alive, the government's DFAS agency still yanked $3,000 out of their account, and they had to start a ticket.
So I got a ticket number after all this money's gone out of my account. And she said it takes 7 to 10 working days before someone will even get back to you.
The family called KENS 5.
The VA killed me physically on paper, and the DFAS has killed me financially.
KENS 5 contacted the VA and let them know this would be going on TV. We also told them the family needed their money back because they had bills to pay. And despite the holiday weekend, the VA returned that $3,000 in just 5 days and gave the family a call.
The lady was sympathetic, and she was a veteran herself, and she also seemed frustrated with the system.
The VA told KENS 5 in a statement, "We regret this mistake and have offered the family our deepest apologies. VA resumed Mr. Bartholomew's payments on January 20th and will ensure he is issued any retroactive payments he is owed." They also said the Houston VA regional office is conducting a review to ensure this does not happen in the future to other veterans. The family says the way the VA first handled this was still unacceptable.
It's we don't know. They might know. They might know. What that tells me about the VA is that nobody knows what the other is doing.
But they are glad to see some resolution after they called KENS 5.
It was frustrating that we have to call people like KENS 5, Andrew Moore, investigative reporters, congressmen, to get involved and to create action, but we're glad that those resources are available.
And at the same time, the family still wants to know how this happened in the first place and what the VA and other agencies are going to do to prevent it from happening to someone else's family. They still haven't gotten an answer to that, so KENS 5 will be following up. For Call KENS, Andrew Moore, KENS 5.
Glad Andrew was able to get them some help. The Weekly Wrap is back after this.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
Talked to this police officer, and she told me to call KENS 5.
Every week, KENS 5 is looking out for San Antonio's own.
The next day after you left, they sent a professional AC guy, and my AC's working now.
If you've been wronged by someone,
it was shocking. Clearly something went wrong.
Or a business,
I couldn't believe it was happening.
Just call KENS. Weekdays at 6, only on KENS 5.
I got my vehicle back. I'm rolling again, so call KENS 5 to help you if you need help too.
Born and raised on the northwest side of San Antonio, Texas. Generations of my family have been from this part of Texas. I have Fiesta roots, I have Spurs roots, I have Texas Fighter roots. Played basketball at Clark. Basketball was a huge part of my life for 16 years. My comfort dish, the plate of chilaquiles with salsa verde. I grew up watching KENS 5. I am who I am because of this beautiful city. I hope that they can find a sense of pride knowing that their creation is helping deliver them the most important news of the day. I'm Alicia Nieves, and I'm proud to be from this beautiful city.
If you want a meal that will make you say,
so good!
That is fantastic.
Catch Neighborhood Eats, where we find the best local restaurants. Streaming now on KENS 5 Plus.
Welcome back. Right now we want to get to this week's Quick Hits with Meredith Haas talking about brain parasites and cancer-eating tumors. Check it out.
Scientists are finding a way to have tumors fight cancer cells. Apparently they're using some special drug that is injected directly into tumors. It then reprograms these dormant cells to recognize and destroy cancer. And if you have long COVID and brain fog, apparently it's very different here in the US. The study was done with 3,100 patients recovering with long COVID. Scientists are saying the difference isn't with the virus, but it's more about culture, stigma, and access to mental health care. And apparently there is a common parasite that is way more active in the brain than we realize. Researchers are finding that Toxoplasma gondii cysts contain multiple parasite subtypes. Now they're saying that some cause disease, which help explain why infections are so hard to treat. But this also could help reshape efforts to develop drugs that finally eliminate the parasite for good. Thank you for watching this week's Quick Hits. I'm Meredith Haas.
Interesting stuff. Okay, and at number 1 in our countdown, members of the Bexar County Commissioners Court say the fight isn't done in the deal to build an ice processing facility on the east side. Precinct 4 Commissioner Tommy Calvert said not everything was done right in the deal for the county and city to now take charge. Calvert says the Department of Homeland Security didn't complete an environmental impact study on what the ice processing facility would do in San Antonio. He says the city and county can now have a chance to perform a study on how the ice processing facility will impact local schools and families.
So I believe that this court will look at an executive session at the next meeting, what is the recourse, but I believe the city council, who meets Thursday, has had time to look at its recourse related to the NEPA and environmental impact study, which courts in cities like Chicago have won all the way, I believe, to the Supreme Court.
According to Bloomberg, nearly 24 other warehouses across the U.S. are being considered as possible sites to convert into ICE facilities. That includes one in the Dallas area, one in the Valley, and another near El Paso. And ICE did confirm that they did make that purchase this week. And of course, we'll keep following that story for you. Well, thanks for joining us for this week's episode of the Weekly Wrap, only on KENS 5 Plus. We'll be sure to see you here next week. Bye, guys.